appearance. But again, any time that you make remarks about Trump and you paint him in any sort of positive picture, the media, the leftists, the Hollywood elites are all going to target you. They're going to try and censor you and silence you and remove you from that industry. Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Before we get into our story today, please take a moment right now to hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help support the channel, and it also allows us to grow here at the Bald Brad Show, so your help would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, our story of the day is about Hollywood and how they will denounce anybody that paints Trump in a positive light. They will go after you and they will target you, and it's exactly what happened to Megan Fox. This comes from our friends over at Blaze Media. It is written by Carlos Garcia, and he titles it, Megan Fox rips into the burn a witch at the stake mentality over the outrage after she called Trump a legend. Now, I saw this when she was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I'm a big fan of Transformers. I was a big fan of Shia LaBeouf before he kind of went off the rails mentally. And I'm a big fan of Megan Fox and the work that she has done as well. And so this entire thing is manipulated by Hollywood and is now going after Megan Fox for what she said, when in actuality, she didn't say the very thing that they said that she said. Starts off here by saying, Hollywood actress Megan Fox lashed out sarcastically at the uneducated critics trying to cancel her over comments she made about former President Donald Trump. Fox made the comments Monday on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, where she recalled how Trump was received by UFC fans at the UFC 264 showdown in Las Vegas. Here's a little bit of what that sounded like. As you can see from the footage, a lot of UFC fans love Donald Trump. Dana White and Donald Trump have been friends for a lot of years. Donald Trump would go to UFC events before he was ever president. The guy's been a longtime supporter of it, and clearly he has a lot of supporters in the crowd. So Megan Fox was not in the wrong by saying, look, he was like a legend at the place. The place erupted. People loved him. Heck, during UFC, I didn't even know that he showed up. Just during one of the matches on pay-per-view, I just randomly started hearing people chanting USA, and I just thought it was for the fighters. It caught me a little off guard because normally you don't hear that type of chant that loud, roaring that loud. But now afterwards, I would realize, hey, Trump showed up in the building. It makes sense why people are chanting that. Everybody loves Trump. And the media forgets 70 million plus people voted for the man. It's not like everybody hates the guy. He has a lot of support around the United States and around the world. And Megan Fox was just pointing out that when he entered into the building, a lot of people liked him and a lot of people were treating him as if he was a legend. This is what Megan Fox had to say on Jimmy Kimmel.
In one of the fighters' dressing rooms for like an hour before they let us all out of the arena. So that was like my last major UFC experience before I came back for this fight. Whenever it's Conor, it's always insane.
Yeah. And you were in that section with all the special people.
I was in a row with Bieber, and Trump was also in my row.
Oh!
And yeah. And I've never seen Secret Service in person before, so we had like 30 Secret Service with him, and he was a legend. That arena was very supportive of Trump when he came in. And
Megan Fox was simply just showing that the crowd erupted when Trump entered the building, and he was treated as if he was a legend, and rightfully so. The article says here, on Thursday, the actress made it clear that she was only describing how Trump was applauded in the arena at the time. Quote, I do not align myself with any political party or individual politicians, she said in all caps post on her Instagram. And she kind of even emphasized that a little bit inside the interview. So I don't know what these media elites or these Hollywood elites, as well as these leftists, are going at her for. It was very clear in the interview that she was only talking about his appearance. But again, any time that you make remarks about Trump and you paint him in any sort of positive picture, the media, the leftists, the Hollywood elites are all going to target you. They're going to try and censor you and silence you and remove you from that industry. Quote, I never said Donald Trump is a legend. I said he was a legend in that arena. Key part of the sentence. And she's right in saying that. The arena was filled with UFC fight fans, many of them clearly Republican based off the insane crowd reaction he received walking into the T-Mobile venue. That was an observable fact, not my opinion. And again, she is absolutely right in saying this. Megan goes on to say, really loving this uneducated, medieval, pitchfork-carrying, burn a witch at the stake mentality, though. The world needs more of that, she concluded sarcastically. Fox stirred some controversy from a previous guest spot on The Kimmel Show when she described how she had been sexualized as a 15-year-old actress. Kimmel was criticized for laughing at the story and smirking at a joke about it. Now, I'm not going to get into that whole little bit there at the end, but this just shows you how Hollywood treats conservatives, and it's out there in the open now. This has been going on for decades, for that matter. There's been underground groups that got together that were conservatives because if they were ousted, then they would be out of a career. You have Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire talks about this a lot with his Lincoln and Friends, I believe was the organization it was called, or the Friends of Lincoln, one or the other. I can't remember now. It's kind of an old organization, kind of disbanded, I believe around 2015. Don't quote me on that date. But even I, as somebody, I'm a part of the Screen Actors Guild myself. I was doing some acting all the way back even in 2012 and before. And so I was able to become a part of the Screen Actors Guild. And when I voted for Trump in 2016, I literally lost almost 90-something% of my friends in Hollywood. And they weren't small people. These guys were working on Justified on FX and various other shows and are still in the industry. But because they knew and found out I voted for Trump, our friendship was voided. It was done away with. And by the way, we spent years making projects together. They always wanted me in their short films. They wanted me to come up and be the lead for what they were working on. But the moment they found out that I supported Trump and I was conservative, done. Everything else before that didn't matter. All the things that we enjoyed doing together didn't matter. By the way, we never even talked politics before that. It was never an issue. It was never a topic of conversation. And why would it be? We're all talking film. We're talking about food. We're talking about the things we love. Politics generally doesn't come up in normal conversation like that. So there was no reason to talk about it. But, you know, it just shows that they weren't really my friends, maybe. I don't know. I would love to still be their friends. I would love to still do some projects with them. But the fact that I'm a conservative, can do. And this is the type of stuff that happens in Hollywood. And if you want to read a good book on behind the scenes of what's going on in Hollywood, Ben Shapiro has one of his earlier books called Primetime Propaganda. And it takes you into the world of Hollywood and how they treat conservatism and conservative ideas. It's a great book. It's quite lengthy. It's sort of a long read. I wouldn't say it's a quick read, but all in all, it is a great read for you to see, again, what's going on behind Hollywood and how they treat conservatives or anybody, again, that even talks about Trump in a positive light. You're going to be censored and you're going to be attacked, which is absolutely crazy because we live in a world now where you don't even actually have to paint Trump in a positive light. Just you talking about him and saying other people like him are going to get you disavowed and denounced by the Hollywood elites here, which is absolutely nuts. That is all the news I have for you right now, folks. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you a little bit later here on the Bald Brad Show.